The most controversial movie of the year, Sound of Freedom, is finally out worldwide. I seen it last night here in Ireland for National Cinema Day, and here's what I thought. Before I get into things, this is something that a lot of people might be triggered by. This isn't a movie for everybody, of course, and I know all of the controversy around this. If you haven't seen my previous video that I did about a month or two ago, there was a big conspiracy theory that Hollywood was trying to cover up this movie in the USA with many different things, such as AC not working, the film not playing, seats being sold out when there was nobody there when people showed up. And yeah, there was a lot of conspiracy theories around this movie. I can report that everything was fine with my one, so that's okay. But this is what the movie is about. It is about child trafficking, and that is a really touchy subject, I understand, but this movie is trying to shed a light on what actually goes on in the world. The stats that are around this topic are phenomenal, and I was sitting there and I was like, whoa, I didn't realize that this was as big as it is. And that's horrible to say that, isn't it? Because you're kind of like, we're in a modern world where we have access to so much news outlets and so many ways of finding out what's going on in the world, but yet this seems to be kept under wraps. So this is based on a true story, and Jim Caviezel is the main actor here. He plays an agent called Tim Ballard, and to give you a basic sum up of the story, there is two kids in Honduras that get kidnapped and child trafficked, and it's really tough to watch. I won't lie. It's really hard to sit there and be like, whoa. I was very taken aback by it. It was very emotional, very upsetting, but it was made in a way that is so gripping that you're literally on the edge of your seat for the entire time. And I know that there's some people that are bombing this movie saying, oh my God, it's a propaganda, this, that, and the other. But in a pure movie sphere, and I'm looking at that through that lens, this is a phenomenal movie, and it really has left a mark with me. So Jim Caviezel's character ends up trying to rescue these kids, and then with that rescues a lot more kids, but those two kids are the main focus point. What Jim Caviezel does is he befriends a lot of pedophiles, and he does his best to get inside the child trafficking ring, and from the inside he basically plans to expose it, and he does a great job with this. This movie, from my point of view, had everything that made a really powerful story. We see Jim Caviezel going from point A to point B, and by the time he reaches point B, he is a badass character that is doing everything he can to save as many children as he can, and that to me is just like a powerful narrative there already as it is. But I don't really know what else to say about this movie, because it is just something that you need to go and see and experience for yourself, because it is an experience, and there is a message at the end of the movie, like a call to action. I've seen some people say that it's the most cringe thing I've ever seen. For me, I thought it was really powerful. I've never seen something like that before, and it really left a mark with me. And that's just my personal opinion. But this movie, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10, 4 stars. The only reason that I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I did at some stages find it quite hard to watch, and that is just because it was so emotional. But when you say that and you're like, I wasn't able to watch it, that's the point, because this is happening and people just turn away from it. So this movie tries to do the best job that it can to really shed a light on this horrible thing that is going on all across the world. And for me, I think it was successful in doing that. And I think if I can have one thing to say in my review here, it will be go and see Sound of Freedom. And I already know there's going to be comments in this comment section saying it's QAnon conspiracy theory and it's, propaganda, X, Y, and Z. But for me, I think you should go and see it. And that is just my personal opinion. So take from that what you will.